The third characteristic, why it is mercy to the world, is it's what I call balanced comprehensiveness. Its comprehensiveness is found in the way it deals with the human being as he or she is, a spiritual, physical, and intellectual being, and caters to all of those human elements in our existence and aspirations, and achieve the highest possible fulfillment in all. It does not see the human as either an evolving animal devoid of spirit or a fallen angel, as either an intellectual being without spirituality, or a spiritual being void of any thinking. That comprehensiveness is also noted in defining religion. The term religion in English is not the exact translation of the Arabic term used to be, or people believe to be equivalent, deen, D-E-E-N. Actually, the word deen in Arabic is not exactly religion, but a complete way of living, including, but not limited to, matters of belief, spirituality, worship, moral behavior, social, economic, and political aspects. All come under one jurisdiction, all are interrelated. As God is one, and the universe is one, the essential human nature is one, the fundamental needs of human beings, basics, are one, then the idea of compartmentalization of life in something spiritual or moral limited to the place of worship, and the other that's political, and another economic, that leads to psychological inconsistency, or what psychologists call also dissonance. Dissonance, lack of coordination, lack of coherence in human life, which is responsible for many of our psychological and psychiatric problems today. In fact, what the Quran is doing is to restore the ancient prayers attributed to Prophet Abraham as quoted in the Quran. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Say, my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all devoted to God, Lord of the worlds. He has no partner. Thus have I been commanded by God, and I am the first, refer to Abraham, I am the first Muslim, the first one to submit to the will of God. Alongside with this comprehensiveness is the quality of balance and avoidance of extremes. The Prophet spoke against extremes, regardless who is committing those extremes, whether he claimed to be a Muslim, Jew, Christian, or anyone else. Extremes are contrary to the very spirit of Islamic teachings. We see that balance in a variety of ways. Few examples. The balance in the matter of belief and faith between two common extremes. One extreme, very common in our days, rationalism, not rationality, rationalism, worshipping rationality. Scientism, that's different from science. And the restriction of all valid knowledge only to the sphere of the tangible. That's one extreme materialism. And forgetting that there is something supra-rational but not irrational, something beyond the scope of human knowledge. But on the other hand, it avoids the other extreme of asking people to believe in certain myth in the name of mystery and faith, to ask them to accept other man-made creeds which are totally unintelligible and easily proven to be false, and demand that they accept that as a matter of faith, even though it is not the faith that God revealed, but what the hands of men did. In the Quran, faith and reason go hand in hand. Believing in the seen world and the unseen are not contradictory. Physical and spiritual existence is not a matter of either or, because they all belong to that delicate balance. We see the balance in the matter of worship and devotion to God, between materialism and neglect of offering thanks and grace to the one who provided for all, on one hand, and monasticism on the other hand, spending one's life making a shortcut from society and its concerns and engaging in one aspect of worship, the ritual worship, whereas the entire life, all productive activities in Islam qualify to be called worship. We see the balance between the enjoyment, legitimate enjoyment of this life on earth, and sacrificing now for better life in the eternal abode in paradise. As the Quran puts it, وَابْتَغِ فِيمَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Seek in what Allah has given you, the abode or place in the hereafter. Do not forget, however, your share in this life, and be good as God has been good to you, and seek no corruption on earth, for God does not love those who are evildoers. In the Quran we read, eat and drink, of course, non-alcoholic, but without excesses, for God does not love those who are extravagant and wasteful. We see that balance in the social, economic, and political life between the interest of the individual and the needs of society, without sacrificing either on the altar of the other. You cannot sacrifice social needs in the name of individuality, resulting in injustice and instability and lack of compassion, nor can you crush the individuality in the name of collectivity. Needless to say that in all of these examples and others of balance, the only one who can define the proper balance, the correct balance, is not you and me or any other philosopher. It is the Creator of all of us, who knows the ins and outs of human nature, its needs and what's good for it, that can provide that balance.